So 2050 Motors is a very similar model, but it is the first carbon fiber vehicle, the first electric vehicle out of China here in the U.S. So we've had Stretch Fowler, the CEO of the company, on several times. Russ actually did a great hit with him. Maybe guys, if we can pull some of that footage, we can show some of that later in the program today. Where Russ, you were in these cars.
In the cars. And Stretch actually slammed my finger in the door of the little one. Yeah.
Sounded like this.
Open the door. No. Yeah, I got to sit in them, so you actually hear them. These are the prototypes, of course, but still, man.
Well, look at the website, 2050 Motors. If you go to look at it, there's
that one is really cool. It reminds me of like a Rolls Royce or something. And this one, like all the little
that's the Ego,
the little cars you see driving around, the Fiats and stuff like that.
And this is not a Bentley, although it looks like a Bentley.
Yeah, that's what I said.
It looks like a. I mean, by the way, when you shut the door on this little guy here, it sounded like you were shutting the door on a 7 Series BMW or a 500 Series Mercedes. It was amazing.
And electric. That's the cool part.
Unbelievable. 2050motors.com. They are publicly traded ETFM. Echo, Tom, Frank, Mary. ETFM. They're publicly traded. And it's a fantastic company. I'm so excited today because Stretches the brawn.
Right.
Now we got the brains in the studio. Now, before we get to the brains here, because I'm gonna put him on the spot. Joe LaStella is here. Joe LaStella is a professional engineer. He's got a PE designation at the end of his name. He's a very famous engineer.
Yeah.
And he's one of the founders and chief engineer for 2050 Motors. But I got to tell you, and Joe, first of all, welcome to the program. Good to have you along here today.
There he is, everybody.
Great.
And
Great to see you. And audience applause.
I was just saying, audience applause. Plus, when I hear engineer, I thought it was the guy who took the train here or something like that. No,
he's just the brain.
It's the other kind.
Before we start and we get into this, guys, can you go to the website? Eugene is our director today, Darcy, and Michael Murphy is on sound, and Chris Janikis, our GM here, and says, can we show the video of the slow motion crash? Can we show that? Before we start, I want to get to this first out of the way, because I've watched this video late at night with nothing to do. That's how bad I am.
Yeah.
Okay. This video that you're about to see shows a car slamming into a wall so fast that the back of the car comes off the ground.
Right.
And it doesn't crumple. It maintains its, and you'll see this. What I want to ask you is, how fast is that car going? Because this is a slow motion. 35 miles an hour. Guys, can you pull that up? Do we have that available? Okay, here we go. So describe what's going on there, Joe.
Slow motion.
Slow motion video. Okay. 35 miles an hour.
Approaching the target. And guess what?
Look at this. And this is in China, right?
In China.
Yeah. Look at that. Bam. Now, notice the car. Can you go back and freeze frame that for a minute?
What happened?
Nothing happened to the car.
Oh, I thought, yeah.
The car still looks the same. If you back it up 10 seconds, it looks just like that too.
And you could probably just go buy a new chunk.
So I want to start there, okay, Mr. Engineer. Why? Well, how could that possibly be?
Oh boy. It's a whole show now.
You started out with that one?
First of all, well, no, because let's face it. I mean, that's significant. When people see that, I've had viewers send me emails asking me where that YouTube video is, and I've had to send it to them. Tell me why? How can you do that?
Carbon fiber is 5 times stronger than steel.
Okay.
1/3 the weight.
1/3 the weight.
Very light, very strong.
Okay.
In fact, I think you showed another video where we actually shot 38 caliber bullets at a plate.
A couple weeks ago.
That's, I remember.
And they bounced back at the guy.
I did something better for you. I brought the plate in.
All right, well,
that's the plate?
This is the plate. Now we shot 4 22 bullets, little ones, then 4 38s. All right, this is the front of the plate. You can see.
Oh my God.
Let's zoom in on this, guys.
Look at the back. Look at the back.
Yeah, nothing's wrong with the back. Guys, can you zoom in on that for a second? Let's hold it like that.
There's your zoomer.
And look at that. Look at what you're seeing there.
Only the first carbon fiber piece broke.
Right.
Never even penetrated the second piece.
Next time I go to a Charger game, I'm wearing this.
You need
when the Raiders are playing.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just going to wear that like that. So, Joe, first I had to get that out of the way because
some companies wanted to make these plates a little thicker and use it for our military, by the way.
Right. Well,
right here, lightweight.
It's a great idea, no?
So let's talk about this for a second. So you are the engineer here. Let's talk about the company. I gave it a brief introduction, but basically that's the best introduction I give. You guys are assembling. You have the exclusive rights to assemble this vehicle here in the United States.
Absolutely correct.
And it is a Chinese manufactured vehicle.
It's a Chinese manufactured vehicle, but the technology to make carbon fiber this strong and inexpensively actually came from a coalition of some of the best Italian engineers who know a lot about carbon fiber and Chinese engineers.
Okay.
Took 5 years to develop the process to make carbon fiber parts inexpensively.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, you can't. And if you want to buy a carbon fiber car, you're going to spend 120, 130, 200, 300,000.
Yeah.
Not 35,000.
Right.
Right. And the Ego is going to have a retail price of what?
Well, after the government rebate, it's going to be like 25, 26,000.
Made out of carbon fiber. That's the car you saw, by the way. Smack that
Exactly.
wall at
That's
35
right.
miles an hour was the Ego. And look at that. So there's some chip paint.
Yeah, that's.
But, basically, the cowling of that car just became detached, but it is still intact.
Most of that is just the paint that chipped off it.
Yeah, that's I mean, which is amazing, and that's the car that we saw in the video.
So that's the carbon fiber that keeps it from just crumpling. You're saying 5
Carbon
times stronger than
fiber
steel.
takes a shock. You have to absorb the energy of the vehicle somehow.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if you look very closely, you can see that the energy was transformed from the front to the whole body.
Right.
All right.
Sure.
All
that's why the
carbon
thing came up
fiber.
here. Oh, I see.
That's right.
Okay.
It was absorbed by the entire body,
Right.
and then bounced back into shape again.
Okay. So now we know the strength of the thing. Now the car itself, electric vehicle, obviously that is a great vertical here in the U.S. because it's clean tech energy. I mean, the 400-pound gorilla in the room is obviously Tesla, and there's an interesting comparison. The battery pack for Tesla weighs more than your whole car weighs.
That's right.
That's pretty significant, also, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Talk about why it's so important, the weight factor, and that's because of the carbon fiber, right?
Now you're getting some details which I
Well, you're
really
the
do
engineer.
want to
That's
get
why we
into.
got-
Give
that's-
me a
you're the
break. Give me a couple of minutes here.
There you go.
All right.
This is the future of not only electric vehicles,
Okay.
but the entire automobile industry.
Okay, I'll tell you what. When we come back from the
Yeah.
break here, that's exactly what Joe's going to do. Joe LaStella here is the chief engineer. He's the professional engineer, but he's the chief engineer for 2050 Motors. 2050motors.com is their website. Their stock symbol ETFM. But we're going to go through the future of this automotive industry as we see it right now, and we're also going to go through the future of the electric vehicle industry. And then we're going to do. Russ is going to perform a feat of strength for you right here in the studio.
I will be bench pressing a portion of the vehicle.
He's going to be bench pressing a portion of the vehicle.
Nothing.
And I would argue that both of our daughters could pick it up with one hand.
All right, settle down.
We'll figure that out.
We can also add that they'll be located in Las Vegas, Nevada.
That's exactly right. Our good friends at AM 970 K News are there. That's right. All right. BizBrew, U2 America, U2America.com. Joe LaStella's in studio with us with 2050 Motors. Go check out their website, 2050motors.com. See you in a minute. Live from the Jump Television studio in sunny San Diego, California. Feats of strength flying cars. Oh, Rusty. Rusty Nails.
Oh, Jesus! We're good. Okay.
Russ, look at Russ.
I'll just stand back here. We'll put it on the bar.
That is a whole front
end.
of the 2050 Motors Ego. and there's the power tap right there.
All right, clear the way. I got to put it back.
All right, very good.
Coming through.
I can't believe you're just walking that thing around like
I know,
it's a
it's really-
suitcase there.
Oh, Jesus.
By the way, that is the same. That is the same.
Listen to it. I mean, it's not like a little.
No, it's not. No, that's why, because when you close the door.
Yeah.
Do we have that video of him closing the door that's handy? Because I'd like to show that at the bottom of the hour here, because I can tell you, you can tell that stuff is strong.
Very strong.
Joining us today, Joe LaStella is the engineer. He's got a PE at the end of his name, which means professional engineer. He likes to call himself a retired professional engineer, but after talking to him, you can tell nothing is retired about Joe LaStella. One of the founders of 2050 Motors. 2050 Motors, of course, assembling carbon fiber electric vehicles here in the States, and lots of great stuff. And we spent lots of time with Stretch Fowler, your CEO, talking about the company, and it's an interesting model, and it's not a new model. It's a very successful model because Toyota did this in the past, where they took parts from Japan at that point, brought them over and assembled vehicles, and they sold vehicles.
But they weren't this light, I'll tell you that.
No, they were not. You guys are taking parts from China and doing the same thing as you come over here. Talk a little bit about this, because this is a paradigm shift for the automotive industry, is it not?
So every think tank in the world is looking for the future of the automobile industry. Now, there's mandates coming down the road. In the United States, by 2025, the average fleet, say for General Motors or Ford, has to reach over 54 miles per gallon. That's for the entire fleet. That's trucks and
So that
SUVs.
means, yeah, that
There's
means
no
the
way
big
to
ugly.
get there. You can't get there,
You can't.
except one way.
Electric
And they know
vehicles.
it.
Electric, carbon
yeah,
fiber?
yeah,
electric?
yeah. First, they got to make the vehicles more efficient.
Okay.
And don't get me wrong, Detroit has done some wonderful jobs. They got the cars more aerodynamic.
Right.
They got low roll resistant tires and they tweak
Sure.
the engines.
Sure.
But you can't get from 30 or 26 to 54.
Sure.
Impossible.
Right. Because we're at
You have-
36 now, right?
You have to lighten up the vehicle.
Yep.
That's
Nicky
that's a
Lauda
given.
did that
That's his given.
with Ferrari back in the day.
Right. Lighten up the vehicle.
Lighten up the vehicle. That's how I got
Let me
that.
show you how important it is.
Okay.
Let's talk about Ford, for example.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. Their flagship fleet vehicle is a 150 Ford.
Yeah, Ford F-150 pickup.
That's
Right.
absolutely.
Right.
And they sell
Well, it's the number one selling car.
number one selling car.
Sure,
right?
sure.
So now, would you take your flagship vehicle, which primarily sold to farmers and miners, because they're a rugged vehicle,
Yeah.
and take it from steel to aluminum? What does it do to the price, the mentality of a miner? You go, I used to have a steel vehicle.
I'm driving-
now I have
I'm
aluminum
driving a
vehicle."
beer can.
And they did it.
Driving around a beer
They
can.
invested $2 billion and
Oh, boy.
risked their top vehicle to do
Yeah.
what?
To make it
To
lighter.
make it lighter.
Right.
700 pounds on a 5,000-pound vehicle.
Okay.
That's less than 20%.
Yeah.
Sure.
They only got 8% increase in gas mileage. 8%, which is 3 gallons. Now to get 3 gallons more per mile.
So that's how they got out of
and
this
invest
3 gallons?
3 more
How
miles per
much
gallon.
did they invest
Three
for
mo-
that 3 gallons? I mean, how much money was invested to save
$2 billion.
And
$2
aluminum,
billion.
$2 billion.
And we all know aluminum crumples like right on my forehead when I'm
So if
done
they
with
would
a
have
beer.
invested $4 billion, it would have
Yeah,
been
the
6
tougher
Today's
stuff.
aluminum is not like that. They have alloys.
But that's
and
the
things.
image. When I hear aluminum, I'm
The
thinking,
image.
Stamp on the
That's-
thing?
It's the image. That's
the image I come up with, yeah.
So now,
Well, the image I have is driving
Now-
a Chevy Vega at age 16 years old that melted.
yeah, that was a bad one.
What's the moral of that story? Getting it lighter,
Right.
lightweight.
Right,
It's all about weight.
Either that or Ford
So
is
when you
stupid.
talk about, now I'll shift gears again, 2050 motor cars,
Yeah.
right? They weigh less than half of
Yeah.
any other vehicle,
Okay.
including the carbon fiber, which is not really carbon fiber.
Okay.
The i3 from what's called
Tesla?
No, Tesla weighs much more than that. Even the small one is going to weigh over 3,000 pounds.
Yeah.
The
What
big
is
one,
can let me just ask you this. What does the Ego weigh?
about 1,500.
1,500.
I dated a girl. That was
1,500 with the batteries. The Tesla
Circus, beautiful.
S model, Tesla S model weighs about 4,800. So one
So the car that we saw in that
that's
crash
a huge
test
difference. Yeah. That's a
weighed 1,500
about
pounds.
1,500 pounds. That's right.
So what the moral of the story here is the future of the automotive industry is to get fuel efficiency. You either got to go electric car or you got to make it lighter, or you got to do
right.
both.
Or both.
You guys have done
You got to
both.
do it both.
yeah, you did.
That's a 1,500 pound car.
Yeah.
That's the one.
That's great.
That's the 1,500 pounder right there.
And then
The
you have to
battery
equate that. It's
pack
gotta be
in the
safe.
Tesla
It's
weighs
a
more.
safety factor. You want a much more safety.
Well,
Right.
clearly you've got. I mean, we showed a video last week or 2 weeks ago with Stretch here, where they held up that piece of carbon fiber that you have in your hand there, and they shot it with a pistol, a 38
Yeah.
special.
Twice. The guy almost got hit on the bounce
and
back.
Not all carbon fiber is the same. Like,
So this is
About
proprietary.
the BMW,
Right.
The new BMW i3,
Right.
Yeah.
Even that weighs well over 1,000
So
pounds.
this is
more than that.
proprietary.
And they're made of a carbon fiber composite.
So the proprietary advantage here is what makes this thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Now,
So-
when you talk about a carbon fiber body,
Right.
you're talking about the outside. But nobody ever talks about the interior panels.
Okay.
Our interior panels, by the way, are carbon fiber.
Just happened to have one here.
Oh, I happen to have one. Now, wait a second.
Yeah, I'm not
Don't
allowed to
take-
touch-
Now, wait a second, guys.
Don't touch
This is
that.
about as thick as your credit card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Russ is a little thicker. He's got a bigger
Now,
limit.
watch that.
Yeah.
Try that on for size.
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you what. So I have a carbon fiber guitar.
Yeah.
That's about like that. Okay. So the interior panels, and this is I'm assuming that's where the door handle is, maybe, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So the interior panel here, take it.
Yeah.
Don't cut me.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah. The interior panel and the exterior panel. Now, is there any other material in the car? I know it's got aluminum chassis, right?
Wait a minute, I'm not through.
Yeah, okay.
Wait, there's more.
Joe LaStella's not through.
Well,
there's
the
more.
outside of the car is carbon fiber.
Yeah.
And the inside, in the interior, is carbon fiber.
Okay.
All right. What you then do is put an adhesive foam in there, and you combine them all together for a composite material. So now you have,
I feel safer already.
exactly. Your car is so strong, it's practically indestructible.
All right, stay right there, Joe. Hold on.
Okay.
We're going to come back from a break. Joe's going to continue. Joe LaStella is the chief engineer. He's a professional engineer, but he's with 2050 Motors. 2050motors.com is the website. ETFM is their stock symbol. Russ has done a feat of strength, and now he's holding a piece of he's holding the whole door in his hand right there.
It's a nice little fan.
We'll come back. We're going to talk about the future of the electric vehicle industry.
Second, man.
Show you a little bit of the interview that Rusty did outside with
And a jingle, I think.
And we got a jingle coming up, the new 2050
yeah.
Motors ad campaign. Right
Vote
here.
on it.
Biz Brew. 2050 Motors. And here to introduce the brand new, unauthorized 2050 Motors ad campaign, Rusty Nails. Russ, what do you got over there?
Basically, I'm standing here with,
Tyler?
T-Bones. T-Bones.
T-Bones
He's been working behind the scenes with the ad campaign to bring us a new jingle that should be worldwide, if I'm not
for
mistaken.
2050 Motors, the first unauthorized ad jingle for the 2050 Motors car.
Make sure our sound is all checked.
Our sound is
Hold
all
on.
clear.
We're good? Okay. And here it is.
2050 Motors, technology from Italy and China. They're electric cars, and they're made of carbon fiber. Joe and Stretch will take you all the way. 2050 Motors, that's the really way. You gotta go strong and you gotta go fast in your 2050 motor car all the way.
Thank you. The brand new 2050 Motors, unauthorized. Yeah,
That's amazing.
we'll take that into a. We'll take that to. Let's take that to the focus group and see what they think about that.
Yeah, they're going to
Tyler Stalnack, by the way, Russ Stalnack's son, used to play all of our music on the program. We first got to television 10 years ago, and he was 10 years younger
Yes, he was.
and 10 inches shorter at that point.
and 10 pounds
No,
lighter.
would you stop? Stop. Would you stop, Dad?
I'm no longer the biggest Stolnack. That's the best part of it. All right.
I'm not gonna put you on the spot, Joe, because I know he got tears in his eyes. He teared up a little
I
bit
saw
when he
him
heard
going,
the
yeah,
ad
I think
campaign
it's
going,
cool.
so watch for the new ad campaign coming out
2050
nationwide.
Motors.
Yeah, that's actually kind of a driving thing.
It's a car thing.
Considering it's a car that's silent.
Well, yeah. Get your motor running.
Talking about the electric vehicle industry, if you're just joining us here, welcome to the program. I'm Sully, that's Rusty Nails. Joe LaStella is a professional engineer, but he's the chief engineer for 2050 Motors. 2050motors.com is a website. They are publicly traded under the symbol ETFM, and they are assembling, not manufacturing, they are assembling here in the U.S. Carbon fiber cars that are electric vehicles that originate from China. And the interesting part of this is Russ T. Nails had a chance to interview Stretch Fowler, the CEO of the company, about a month ago on our other program. He was out back, and I want you to...
They brought the cars
He
here.
brought the cars here. Let's roll a little bit of that old bean footage.
That's right.
Let me do that real quick because Stretch, if you'll talk Sully through what I'm doing and what I'm going to
Wow, perfect. So, there
There
we
it
go.
is, thud, that sound of silence. You're a reporter now. Carry on.
Okay, got it. Okay, so just step in there and then just slam it like as hard as you want, buddy.
Slam away.
Ready.
Wow. So now you can't.
I thought obviously we had it.
hear Russ yell. This is.
I'm sick and tired of it.
Oh, there he is.
I didn't even hear it.
No, really. That's a solid sounding car. The,
Well, so good. So very good. So wow. So you were outside.
Outside,
And when
got
you
in it.
did that car feel like it was a tinny little
No,
boxy little thing at all?
No, I've been in tinny little sounding
I know.
cars and enough
I
about
have
the
to tell you,
Toyotas.
I also sat in the car, and I sat in the bigger model, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Yeah.
It really is significantly different than anything we've seen so far, right? I mean, I think that's a big piece of it. That's where the automobile industry needs to go. They don't really have a
correct.
choice, do they? It's a paradigm shift in how they're doing business, right?
Well, originally, we actually thought we were going to call our car the eternal car.
The eternal car.
Now, why would you say that?
Yeah, like you
First
never
of
need
all,
a new one.
Carbon fiber
Yeah.
doesn't rust,
Yeah.
so it's forever.
Yeah.
Aluminum alloy frame doesn't rust many, many years.
Wow.
But now let's talk about the rest of the car. Electric motors are very durable.
Sure.
In fact, in New York City, where I'm from, as you can tell, all right,
No,
I thought
we
from
couldn't
Alabama.
at
Oh,
all.
come on.
Yeah, it's the Southern boy.
there are Edison electric motors still running the elevators in New York City after 100 years.
Wow.
Same
That's-
motors.
Same motor, absolutely. The DC motors, and they rectified the AC to DC, and they kept the same motors.
Yeah.
So, and if an electric motor goes out on you, You take it to any machine shop, they rewind it, put it back in your car
Yeah.
again. So you don't spend $12,000, $15,000 for a new engine. You spend $400 or $500, get it rewound.
So 2050 Motors is not going to have a repair shop or what are you bringing in for? Tires, maybe?
Well, it'll be like a service
brake
type
line
thing.
or something. But service, I
We're
don't know.
interested in
There won't
making
be
the
any.
car
There won't be any
less
body
maintenance.
collision work.
That's maintenance. Yeah.
eternal car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't want things to break down. Let's talk about the batteries now.
Right.
Because you said let's talk about batteries.
Yeah, the future
All right?
of the electric vehicle industry has got to do with the batteries, does it not?
Everybody's talking about lithium batteries.
Right.
Well, lithium batteries, there are different chemistries.
Oh,
some
boy.
of them explode, some of them don't explode.
Yeah.
All right?
I like the ones that don't explode.
No, me too.
personally.
On my
Well, that's the
hoverboard.
type of we have, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you doubt that, go in, look in your encyclopedia somewhere online.
Google it, yeah.
And look for lithium iron phosphate batteries.
Lithium iron phosphate battery.
That-
This is not me saying it.
Okay.
Go look it up.
All
It
right.
says the following. All right? They can be charged in less than a minute. What? Less than a minute? You know? They will not explode.
Okay.
Guess what? They don't catch fire. And they're good for 6,000 cycles. 6,000 cycles, deep cycles. In regular car use, that's 30 years.
And it has a longer cycle than any other lithium.
Absolutely, longer cycle. Now,
And they don't explode.
you think that
Low environmental concerns because it
you think
uses
U.S. Navy knows
phosphates.
anything about batteries?
I think they do.
Oh, sure.
You ever hear the rail gun?
The
Oh,
rail
yes.
gun.
The
Yeah.
rail
Yeah,
gun, right.
Yeah.
They use lithium iron phosphate batteries made by K2, also a Las Vegas company.
Okay.
Why? Because they can be charged up in less than a minute.
Wow.
The rail gun has capacitors that need to be constantly recharged.
Right.
Because the rail gun uses a plasma, electric plasma, to shoot aluminum shells.
Oh, man.
At 10,000 feet per second.
That's incredible.
That's faster that's 4 times faster than a .3006 bullet. All right. And why? Because those capacitors have to be charged up every few seconds. They can fire 6 rounds a minute. The batteries to match the capacitors have to be almost like capacitors, which they are. So the chemistry is everything. So we have cycle life, we have safe batteries, we have 30-year batteries, motors absolutely durable, a car's durable. Finally, you're going to pass this down from generation to generation.
Okay.
You're going to put in your will. The
Yeah.
will is to your children.
Yeah.
Another thing, electric motors only run on electrons.
Okay.
So if 10 years from now somebody comes out with a super fuel cell or better batteries,
Sure.
you take your batteries out and you put them back in again and you run the car forever. They only want to see electrons.
Yeah.
So it's a totally different concept.
Yeah.
It changes the landscape.
Sure.
And also changes something that's very valuable to Detroit, which is their spare parts.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know,
Right,
spare parts
right.
is a big deal for them. You take the spare parts away
what I
from
was
them.
thinking. Where's
it's a
your
real
repair
problem.
work? Yeah.
So you have a lot of resistance.
So if you think in terms of the rest of the cars in the world, okay, let's think about the Teslas of the world and let's think about even we brought up the BMW and the Toyotas of the world. They're going to have to shift their technology eventually. Even Tesla's going to have to shift their technology because it's too heavy to keep up
Listen,
with
this is-
competition, not just the
this is Joe
environmental side.
LaStella speaking now, not
Yeah.
2050 Motors.
Okay.
I guarantee you, by the way, I have a lot of admiration. I really like Elon.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's a
Elon
great
Musk,
guy.
sure.
Elon Musk, great guy. I wish him all the luck in the world.
Yeah.
I guarantee you he's looking for carbon fiber right now.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't even know about us yet, but he will pretty soon.
Yeah, and of course, a big piece of this has to do with when you guys are opening your manufacturing plants. Before I let you go today, let's talk about what's going on in that direction because you guys got access to the catchment center in Las Vegas, Nevada, correct?
Not yet, almost.
Okay.
Hopefully,
All right.
2.5 years we've been working on it, very close to getting it.
And that's a manufacturing or that's an assembly facility
Assembly facility.
here in the U.S. And of course the manufacturing facility is already in China, right?
And you're not going to believe this, but it's actually cheaper to assemble the parts in the United States than bringing finished cars here from China.
Wow.
That's the question. Why? Because when you bring cars here, you're putting 2, 3, or 4 in a container.
Yeah.
Still paying for the whole container.
Gotcha.
All right?
Gotcha.
When you bring parts here, you bring 50, 60 parts at a
Yeah,
time here.
yeah.
All right.
and that's the big difference because
And the
you-
savings, by the way, there's other things to do with how you import them and the tax advantage of bringing them in. However, that savings, I'm telling you, pays for all the labor to assemble that car in the United States.
This is why we're not running a car company and Joe is. Joe, thank you so much, man. Thanks for coming. We can't wait to have you back.
Good deal.
Maybe him and Stretch should come one time together.
I think so. And bring some of those batteries. I know someone at home would be happy with a long-lasting
Thank you.
battery.
Appreciate it.
What? Huh?
Thank you very much. Wow. Unbelievable.
What?
Joe LaStella, Chief Engineer, 2050 Motors, one of the founders, by the way, 2050 Motors.
Never runs out or explodes.
They are publicly traded under ECFM. Thank you, Joe. Coming up, Riggs Eccleberry. Got a new stock symbol, by the way, Russ.
What?
Tell you about that.